Hi Booktube and happy Friday. I'm here to talk about my weekend plans and what I'm currently reading. The saga continues of me continuously picking books up and not finishing them before I start another book. this this month I am just in a mood where I'm reading a bazillion and one books, and since I've last talked to you, I have picked up a couple more books that are like just ongoing, and I'm not going to talk about every single book in this video that I'm in the midst of, because some of them I've only made a little bit of progress in. But yes, it's currently Friday and it's going to be a very hot weekend. I'm currently using the warmer apartment to bake some bread. I was like, why not take advantage? So it's like one of those like slow proving breads that takes like hours to rise. So like hopefully I won't have to turn the oven on to bake it until later tonight, because here in Oregon, like almost no house has central air conditioning, and I haven't put in my window units yet. So there's that. But I thought I would mention the recipe where I got it from. This is Bread Etc. by Matthew James Duffy. I believe this cookbook came out a year or so ago. I can't remember. But I have borrowed it multiple times from my library, but haven't done anything with it. And so I was like, why not get this from the library again? Because I have a category within my library app where I have it set just for cookbooks. And so I can just like browse it here and there. One thing I know I've done some cook with me videos here and there throughout the channel, but I do lots of cooking at home. It's like one of like the therapeutic kind of things, and I like saving money, of course. So there's that as well. So maybe I don't know, focus more on that. Not solely switch the channel over to cooking, but do a little bit more here and there. But anyway, so when I was looking through this book, a lot of it was sourdough breads, and although I like baking and cooking, sourdough is something I tried a year or two ago to do to start up the starter, like what you use to then make your bread going forward, and I failed abysmally. I tried it twice and I was like, I just couldn't get it started. The starter, I couldn't get it started. So maybe I'll try it again at some point, but for right now, I'll just stick with the normal, yeast, or or your quick breads, like using baking soda or baking powder. And maybe once I get up enough confidence, I'll start again. And also, every like bread cookbook has their own way of doing a starter. So what is the true method? Let me know. Yeah, I need some help. So yeah, I'm making one like the classic plain white bread. Like, why not start with that? But yeah, it's like so many of these recipes. Anyway, going back to the point here, it was like so many, like half of them in here are sourdough bread, which is good for people who have the sourdough starter, but not for me. So like, at least I'm gonna try one bread from this before moving on. But like, there's so many cookbooks coming out every single month. Like, my goodness, and I want to try them all. Like, it's like reading like the normal fiction and nonfiction books, but yeah. And so the main book I'm focusing on today is Iron Lake by William Kent Kruger, I want to say is his name. And this is part of, what was it, the Cork something series. I read the most recent book, I think it was like Apostle Cove, that came out last year. And then I'm going all the way back to start at the beginning, because I've never read this author until that one. And so this takes place in the North Woods of Minnesota. And it has like I like the cover as well. It's like the canoe. Minnesota is full of lakes, but up there, like the North Woods part, it's like full of like the pine trees and the small towns and lots of lakes. And so right now we're in the depths of winter, and very unlike what's going on outside right now for me. And there is a murder that takes place, of course, in a mystery series. I can't figure out what the main character does, because he talks about how he's an ex-policeman when he was in Chicago. And now since he's moved, he doesn't say what his job is yet, or if he's going to get back into the police force. I don't know. Because I'm starting at the very beginning of the series. But so far there is, and I'm not going to spoil anything because this is like this is like in the in the summary, where there is a local newspaper boy who goes missing, and there is a local judge that is killed. And so the detective, or whoever, the main character here, is going and somehow going to get involved in that. We'll see to what extent. But yeah, I feel like he's going to go back in the police force, but I don't know yet. So far we're getting used to the town. So I just wanted to read some fiction to mix up all this nonfiction that I'm reading for my self-imposed nonfiction category for June on the Range. So, the other book I am, again, making progress in, I think I talked about this in my last Friday Reads, as a book that I picked up, The Driftwood Valley. This is a book, I just like mentioning it briefly here, like I was like focusing solely on it because because I was going to get through it, like pick it up and, you know, read right through it. But that didn't happen because this is a diary collection. And although I am more than halfway through, kind of, sort of, I have like like a third at least left. I don't know. I can't figure out the ratio here, but I'm a little bit over halfway through. There you go. But I've decided to read just like a month each day instead of plowing my way through. So right now I am in June, and so I'm just gonna read, you know, each month. Not each day, read a month, and that way I can like finish up probably at the beginning of next week. But yeah, I will keep you posted. I just want to let you know that this is now basically, I'm just talking about this just to let you know it's gone onto my pile of never-ending books where I'm just reading a little bit each day. And then tomorrow, for my plans, I'm gonna continue the book shopping that I was doing, because this week is the what is it called, the Portland Book Shopping Week. And I did a vlog about my the first time I went out, I focused on the Washington bookstores, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go to like the Portland proper bookstores and go to some that are that have discounts, have sales going on right now. And that ends, I think, Sunday. But I'm gonna go tomorrow morning while it's still relatively cool. And so I have 2 bingo cards, like I mentioned. Like, you get a bingo card, you can get stamps for each store you visit. But I forgot to bring mine in the first time, and so now I have 2 of them. I'm not gonna be doing this, but it's just fun to like cross them off as I go. But there is I know I shared this before, but in case anyone didn't see it, there's so many bookstores that you can go to. And so I'm gonna go to maybe 4 or 5 tomorrow. But I could spend all day going to more than a day to go to all these stores. So I will try and vlog that tomorrow and then get that posted for you. But yeah, I enjoy participating in little events like this. They're lots of fun. And but yeah, like I mentioned before, there's many events ongoing right now with each stores doing their own thing. Like there's author spotlights and different activities you can do. But I'm just gonna do some simple book shopping because I want to get back home to my dog, because it's cool enough in here in the apartment, but I know she doesn't like to be left alone too long, and so I can't spend all day out. And she has like that double coat, so she's not going to be the happiest because she can't do much outside, but we'll manage. And then let me see here. So as far as after that, tomorrow afternoon and on to Sunday, I'm hopefully just gonna dive into reading, like have the fans running, have some iced tea or lemonade, and just read. That sounds blissful. If I can only have a week of that, that would be wonderful. Someone wants to get on that. So as far as the nonfiction books, I'm like right now, like I keep dabbling in like reading lots of nonfiction, and then like I need a little bit of fiction to balance things out. So I have 2 possibilities for nonfiction and some for the fiction. So since it's hot out, I wanted, like, I have these books on my TBR here for June on the Range and the Slice of Life readathon. So I picked this one, Home Below Hell's Canyon by Grace Jordan, because I wanted to pick a book that kind of fit the mood outside. And so this one, it looks like it's very hot and dry. So this takes place in Eastern Oregon, like basically completely adjacent to where I'm at. So I'm on like the cooler rainforesty temperate zone, and you go like 6 hours east, so it's like hot and dry, like more like Idaho kind of weather. But it takes place during the Great Depression, and the Jordan family moved there with 3 small children, and they moved to an Idaho sheep ranch on the Snake River, and Snake River Gorge just below Hell's Canyon. It's the deepest scratch on the face of North America, cut off from the world for months at a time. The Jordans became virtually self-sufficient, short of cash, but long on courage. So yeah, we will see what I think of this. I wish I had lots of pictures. There's no pictures, but it would be fun to see, because like this is a place I mentioned how it's in my state. Like I could go see, because I've seen the Grand Canyon. It would be interesting to see this other, like this deeper canyon, but it's so hard to get there. So it would be nice to see pictures just to feel like, or imagine I'm there. But yeah. And then the other book I'm considering is Wyoming Summer by Mary O'Hara. This is the author of like the famous horse books, My Friend Flicka, And so she took her diary collection of her time on a ranch in Wyoming and made it into this book. It's nonfiction, but it seems like memoirs in a way, because there's chapters and stuff instead of going diary entry by diary entry. She's like made a summary of them. So but I love this cover. And I was looking at it, and it's a book club edition, and this came out, well, this edition at least came out in 1963. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. So this like blue sky with the yellow grass. It's reminding me of like my time in California, because the grass here is still green. It hasn't been burnt off into the dry, crackly yellow grass yet. That just almost never happens, at least in my time here in the summers. But in different spots it can. But in California, like, all the grass is that dry, bleached yellow. And then as far as some fiction to like intermingle between the fiction, this is another one where I'm starting to read a chapter a day, because I saw, again, I'm influenced by Booktube. There are Roxy and Casper's channel. They are hosting a group read of each book each month from now until December, to then watch the new series coming out. And so I have already reread books 1 through 3. So I'm on the 4th one. So even though they're starting this month on the first book, I'm just picking up where I left off in the series. But this is a reread for me as well. This is book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I have like the really pretty Jim Kay illustrated edition, and it's very heavy, but it has really pretty input papers. There's like an octopus, and I have just read the very first chapter last night. And this is the tournament, like the World Cup at the very beginning of the book. But yeah, I just love all the illustrations. I know that I just heard about the 6th book coming out that's illustrated, but it's a different illustrator is doing it. So hopefully it'll be just as nice as this. But yeah, so I've just read the first chapter, and I'm now on to chapter 2, which is The Scar. And so I haven't reread this book in quite some time, but I remember what happened. I read this quite a bit when I was a kid. So yeah, gonna read a chapter a day from this. And yeah, I think they're gonna do they might have like a Discord and stuff going on, but I don't do Discord, so I don't know. But I'm sure they're also gonna talk about it on their Booktube channels as well. And then the other option I have, well, this is going to be ongoing. The big book. It's going to take me, I think it says there's 37 chapters, so it'll roll over into July, which is fine, because I don't mind, like, because I want to, because the 6th book, the illustrated book, is coming out in, I think, October. Then I can just like stretch out reading book 4 and then book 5, and then be ready to pick up book 6 when that comes out. And then this other one is Kitty and the Moonlight Rescue by Paula Harrison, and it's illustrated by Jenny Lovely. I found this at a little free library, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to look at it. I have to get closer and closer to the camera. But I'm just like, how adorable is that? And so this won't take me any time at all, because it has like a really big font. This is much more, not middle grade, but elementary school level. And I'm just, I have to read it. I have to read it. So I'm gonna read this in between some of the nonfiction here. But yeah, like this and this is really good for fall too. I think this is a series, because this was book 1. So if somehow I can find the rest of the books, that would be great. Hopefully I'll like this. But even if the story is awful, I'm still gonna like looking at the illustrations. So those are my weekend plans. And let me know what you're going to be reading this weekend, and what's the weather like. Is it for here? It's like finally feeling like summer. Like, it is not. It's been like flirting with like some days where it's like high 70s, but like that's it. But finally we're going to get into the 90s. So not that I exactly want it to stay in the 90s, but yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Booktube.